But Baumia says they've created several jobs.
He's lying. The man, you know, the man is an international liar. The man is a liar. What are the jobs? 1D, 1F, this and that, this and that, this and that. What are they?
Oftentimes, we hear that labor unions are embarking on strike, demanding from government good working conditions, increase in salaries, amongst others. But what exactly are the roles of these labor unions? And is it even necessary to join unions? Join me as we find out these and many more from our guest, who is the General Secretary of the Ghana Federation of Labor, Abraham Kumsin. My name is Ernestina Serwaa Asante. Taking a quick breather, we'll come back right after this break. Thank you, Mr. Kumsi, for joining us on the show.
Thank you, Tina.
So first off, what is organized labor? We always hear organized labor going on strike. What is it?
Organized labor, the name was adopted in the 2003 Labor Act, and that has become the operative name for it, for workers' groupings. But before then, before 2003, we had the Industrial Relations Act of 1965, Act 299, which mentioned or recognized only the Trades Union Congress, the TUC, as the mouthpiece or the representative of Ghanaian workers. So until 2003, the Industrial Relations Act imposed the TUC on Ghanaian workers as their mouthpiece. So that arrangement not being in conformity or inconsistent with the ILO conventions and also the constitution of this country, you know, there were some agitations from workers for that law, that is Act 299, to be amended, because Act 299 gave authority, a singular authority to the TUC to represent Ghanaian workers. And because of complacency, the part of the TUC, you know, workers did not feel that they were being serviced well. And so that is how come the agitations ended up in the passage of the 2003 Labor Act.
Yeah, Act 651.
Yes.
Okay.
And that 651 only mentioned organized labor. Unfortunately, it did not define the organized labor proper. So it is for us as trade unions to come together to make sure that we structure ourselves to be able to, you know, properly or legitimately represent the Ghanaian workers.
Okay. So before the Labor Act 2003, Act 651, you were part of the TUC.
I was the Deputy General Secretary of the Industrial and Commercial Workers Union. I was in charge of operations. And the problem I had with the system was that it appeared, because the Industrial Relations Act of 1965 compelled employers to deduct trade union dues from workers' salaries and paid to the unions. So whether the unions were performing or not, at the end of the month, workers are compelled or made to pay dues to the TUC and its unions. And so, because of that arrangement, that system, the unions did not feel obliged to render quality services or good services to its members. That was the problem that we had with the Industrial Relations Act of 1965. That Industrial Relations Act was passed by Dr. Kwame Nkrumah. He, in recognition of the role that the TUC played in his independence struggle, to compensate for whatever sacrifices that the TUC made, he passed that law. Because knowing very well that, because if you go to other places, other jurisdictions, these laws which compel workers to pay dues is not there. We have dues collectors that at the end of every month, they'll go around to the members and collect dues. But knowing very well that Africans as we are, if you encourage that system, people will not pay dues, because if times are very hard, after taking my salary or wages, then the union man will come to collect my dues. They will pay. They will find out, what have you done for me to pay so much to you as dues, even if it is 10 cedis or 5 cedis. They will not pay.
Yeah.
So Kwame Nkrumah had, he knew that if he doesn't compel workers to pay dues, it will be very, very difficult for trade unions to access money from workers. That's how come he felt that no, this law should compel employers to deduct trade union dues. So if you are employed here, like Ghanaweb, it's not for the individual worker to opt to belong to this union or that union. No. You are obliged under the law to pay dues. And that's why the employers were also authorized to deduct dues from the workers, whether the worker likes it or not.
Okay.
So, so that you can fund the trade unions. That time, workers have little say about who or what governs them or what controls them. Workers, if you're not very careful, even your general secretary at the top there can even talk to your general manager or managing director to even sack you. And once they know that you are very troublesome, that is their own thinking. They think that you can cause trouble, they can influence your dismissal or whatever. The coming into force of the 2003 Labour Act, that gave workers now the right or the authority to even speak about bad services and that sort of thing. That's how.
I'm sure that was when you took the TUC to court.
Yeah. And so we took the TUC to court 2013 to challenge their capacity, because we were doing certain things that without consulting the other unions. So we took them to court. So from 2013, we were in court for 3 years. So 2016, then there were some interventions that, why can't we resolve this misunderstanding out of court? So there was a consent judgment in court. That is 25th April 2016. That go back and go and put your house in order. Because we are workers, why do we fight among ourselves? So we started the process of consolidating our structures to represent the organized labor, which has been mentioned in the new law. TUC leadership realized that once we operationalize the new structures, perhaps their relevance will also be subdued. That's the TUC. They felt that once we start working with that new structures, the TUC may lose, I don't know what they were going to lose, but they may not be influential in other decision making, that sort of thing. But we felt that that structure would have been better for us, so that we can address concerns of workers better. Look at the situation that we find ourselves in. Pensioners, getting up, waking up at dawn to go and mass up at the Ministry of Finance to picket. Just frail-looking, pensioners, and we sit down on consent. So if really we have proper organized labor structures there, we would have taken steps to deal with this kind of thing. It shouldn't happen. This DDEP thing, sometimes if these issues come up, the TUC will call some other unions, will come, let us meet and that sort of thing. It's like Ghana, we don't have black side team. When the time comes for us to play any serious international, games, then you go around looking for players from Accra, Sofo, Kotoko, this and that, people, Pele, you bring them. Maybe they also have some engagement there. You may not get them all the time. So that is wrong. We must have a standing Black Star there. That's what Kwame Nkrumah started with Republicans, the Black Stars. They had a standing team there. If you want to invite anybody from outside to come and support, no problem. But you don't have a standing team. When the time comes, so that's what the TUC is doing. When there's an issue, then you go to University of Ghana, bring some lecturer there. You go to Krosak, you bring somebody. You go to Nagrat, nurses. What kind of behavior is this? You don't do that because we don't have the structures. There should be proper consolidated structures that we can use to handle grievances of workers.
So the conversation is getting very interesting, but then we are going to take a quick break. When we come back, Mr. Kumsin is going to talk more on the Sunon Asogli case and why he thinks the TUC is interrupting the affairs of the organized labor.
Everyone needs the perfect snack to munch on during a fun moment.
Wow.
Enjoy the tasty McBerry Twist cupcakes, deliciously baked and packaged for a sweet treat. Premium quality cakes baked with love for all, enriched in butter and milk.
Yummy. Oh.
McBerry Twist cupcakes, simply irresistible. Try one today. This advert is FDA approved.
Welcome back from the break. So, Mr. Kumsin, what do you make of the impasse between TUC, the workers of Asogli, and the company itself?
So once the case is in court, you can't threaten mayhem. You can't threaten demonstration or strike. You can be cited for contempt. Once the case has gone to the High Court or even Circuit Court or Magistrate Court, the unions, you have to hold on. If you have any thing to do, then make sure that the court expedites action on that matter. That's all that you can do. But once, so long as the case pends in court, you cannot threaten nostril action, whether it be demonstration or strike action. You can't do that. It's lawlessness. It's lawless for you to do that. The law lists this Asogli under the essential services.
Okay.
And under the law, we have essential services sectors: water supply services, electricity generation, transmission and distribution services, health and hospital services, sanitary services, air traffic control, meteorological services, fire services, air transport services, supply and distribution of fuel, petrol, power and light, telecommunication services, public transport services, ports and harbor security services, and Bank of Ghana. These are identified sectors that have been put under essential services. So here, the law itself doesn't allow for nostril actions or necessary nostril actions. You must, the law provides that you exhaust, and they have given some timelines upon which you comply with it to resolve the matter amicably. If the TUC had thought over their approach, because what they are doing is only creating problems for the workers, for those three workers. Now management is demanding that they should write apology letter. What does it mean? They will put their job on that line, because if you write to apologize, oh, I'm sorry, oh, what I did, I won't do it again. What is it? you are jeopardizing the people's job. You don't do that. You are not the managing director there. Asante, you are not the managing director there. He's going to work on the people there. So what impression, what have you done for these workers? So when I heard them using all the media, this thing, we are going to go, all the unions, that sort of thing. But I don't blame the unions that got involved, because they were misinformed. Because me, I'm on a platform that I don't contribute. I listen to them how they were. Oh yeah, we are going to charge MC. Look at these people. They don't know what is going on. So the TUC is misleading or has misled the union leaders. So that until these structures are put in place, look, Tina, I tell you, there will be problems, and we cannot. Me, I believe in demonstrations. I believe in, mobilizing. I've done it. I mean, not today. Rollins time, we were doing it. We were even under the military regime. Some of them, they were hiding under their beds and all that. They were not. But we were up front. These people who are now making noise, those days, when the bullets were flying, I was arrested, put at the Ghanaian barracks. Look, they don't know. If they are talking about militancy, the guard rooms, some of them, they have not tasted the place. We have been there. 83. 83. We're arrested. For instance, Guy, now TOR. TOR was our source of power if it comes to bringing, involving workers in whatever action they want. It's a TOR. TOR, we take a decision, they hoist red flag. You see, to the Bukaji, then they will be running to beg that we should. Yes, I'm mentioning names. To the Bukaji, Dana Budakfi, and all of them. But they know that TOR, because when we go on strike or whatever, TOR, what they do. So if TOR shuts down, you can imagine.
Well, it looks like it is nearing collapse, and that is why they've been able to lease it to Rentco to commence operations. What's your take on that?
That's why it's criminalities that has brought TOR to this stage. You have been reading about how, the CEOs and all these things, the way they mess up this bulk oil thing, and the way they're doing their own things. I mean, they don't think about this country. No, they don't think about this country. They think at their own pocket. And you know that what is happening to TOR is unfortunate. It's very sad. Very, very sad. TOR, the guy that some of us knew, it's not what we are seeing there. TOR is virtually dead. Somebody, the people can say, oh, what can they do? Can they threaten what? You yourself, you are not even going to work. So you'll be in your house and threaten to demonstrate. No, so TOR is dead. Vaco is dead.
So what can they do to revamp the Tema Oil Refinery?
See, it's about the commitment of the political leadership to think about the future of this country, to think about the future of the youth, job creation. That's all. It is about political, the will to do the right things for this country. That's all. They don't think about, well, why? If I have the opportunity, why do I think about Ghana? Ghana is not for me. Why? They will think about themselves. This is a selfish bunch of people who have taken power and they are doing whatever they like. Because TOR, how do we get fuel, how do you call it? This the oil that is being extracted. You send it, the crude send
oil.
It somewhere. Then it is refined. Then you go and buy the refined product and bring it here to Ghana to come and sell. For us, you have this facility here. Infrastructure, you have everything there. If it's about, renovations or revamping, recapitalization, whatever, you must do it. You think they are too smart. But nature will deal with each and every one of them who is pursuing policies that will destroy the economy for the youth to suffer. And the youth they are suffering now.
Yeah.
They are suffering. So if you, as a leader, a political leader, and you don't think about, so what do we do to let this youth and you don't think about it, you are thinking about what will come into your pocket there. God will deal, nature will deal with them one by one, and they will face it.
You know, things are tough, and then Ghanaians are already burdened with some taxes. And with the media budget coming in, media budget that will be read next week, we are hearing that government is likely to introduce newer taxes. What's your take on that?
The nuisance taxes must be removed. Number two, you see, what they are doing, because this IMF money is loan, it's not grant. We are going to repay. So if you bring these policies, these taxes that are going to destroy industry, businesses, how do you derive the revenue? Because the people are already dead, and the companies are dead and gone. So who is going to pay taxes to you for you to be able to repay this loan to the IMF? So they should rethink. They should rethink that these policies, and you see, it's the finance minister that I will blame. Maybe the president, yeah, but the finance minister has a serious problem.
Which is?
But his own people, about 90-something of the MPs in his party, rose up last year or so that no, the man is not correct. They should remove him. I didn't say it.
But do you think they should remove him?
Why not? It has taken too long. You see, why? Why do we reshuffle? It's not that you hear somebody, but as the president, you must assess the performance of your ministers. Assess their performance. And do whether the person, it doesn't take MPs to agitate for the removal of any minister before the president even acts. You yourself, I know you are very young, but since you get exposed to this politics, have you heard of or have you seen any minister who the parliamentarians of his own party have instigated or agitated that president removed it? It hasn't happened. I haven't seen it before. But this government, the most useless. I'm saying this, and I know the history. This youth who have joined the people and they are misbehaving, they should continue to misbehave. If I'm speaking from experience. Yes, I've seen government come. Some of us military, some of us became, targets, and that sort of thing. But so I've learned a lot.
But why do you think government is useless? This government is useless.
It's the policies that they are churning out. Because, one, if they claim that they are capitalists, pro-capitalism, how should they conduct themselves as capitalist-oriented rightists? How should they position themselves? It's about creating jobs. It's about encouraging investors to create jobs. Even though the working conditions may not be the best, but the jobs will be there. Create jobs.
But Baumia says they've created several jobs.
He's lying. The man is an international liar. The man is a liar. What are the jobs? 1D, 1F, this and that, this and that, this and that. What are they? I have statistics of the companies that existed and there remains now. Some are even, a lot of them, they are not even working. They are not even working. The raw materials will get finished. You go home 2 weeks, you come back, then you work for about 1 week, then you go back home. So how do you expect even to negotiate good conditions for such workers?
Lastly, before we go, how do you think government can help revamp this broken economy?
The wastages. Look at the number of ministers. Look at the number of duplicated employees in the ministries and all over the place. Even if you go to the civil service, they are lamenting. The minister comes with a whole lot of technical or what advisors or you give them some name. Come with some assistant. Oh yes, to come to take over. So they are even doing the work of the technocrats of these ministries. They come with their own team to come and work there. That is one. And if you look at the Flagstaff House, the Jubilee House, there are probably about 1,000 something of staffers there. What are they doing? Only they go on the internet and be insulting people. They should continue to be doing that. The insult will come to an end. You see, and also the ministers. Why? Why all this? Because when they were in opposition, they were attacking, even it was started from President Kufuor. When he took over, for him, I admire him. He apologized that he didn't know that it takes a lot to be able to. That's how come I will not fault him. But these people employing about 100 and something ministers. Then the president too will be flying. I don't know whether he's going to Portugal. He went with that Serwaa plane. You see, so these are things that you see. No, we should be serious because these are things that organized labor, if we are properly structured, we are pointed out that, Your Excellency, why do you rent such expensive jets and planes? What is it? Why do you do that? Meanwhile, your people are suffering. Certain things you don't have to do it. But he was doing it. You want the plane that has showers and all this. Me, if I take plane, I pray that I will get to my destination because I'm afraid to be bathing. I mean, how do you bath? Do you know where the direction of the plane cry is going to? Then you are bathing. How do you bath? You be in the bathroom, then the whole thing will collapse. I mean, what is it? So the thing is that me, I'm afraid cry to even enjoy myself airborne, and then you are bathing. You continue to bath.
Okay.
When there's problem with it, you will see whether you will be in the bathroom, you will be smashed with your nakedness.
Thank you very much for joining us on today's edition of BizTech. So it was great. The conversation was very insightful, and I know you've learned a lot about organized labor today. My name is Ernestina Serwaa Asante. Best headlines follows.